What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. So on Saturday, I did Subscriber Saturday, and I checked out someone's Raidraptor Utopia build, and he was actually the guy who submitted the very first Subscriber Saturday deck list, and it was Raidraptors as well. This video is going to be more akin to that. Like, this is how I play Raidraptors, and we just have different kind of decks and deck building ideas, and I just wanted to show off mine here. This is my favorite archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, definitely by far. It's just so amazing. So this guy has, what better way to start like this video than showing off a guy who has 3 separate hand traps, and how far I'm able to go through it. So there it is, effect failure, infinite impermanence, and a ghost spell in Haunted Mansion, and I now have an Omni Negate online. I'm able to send Ancient Cloak, very cool, and this is going to be Dark Requiem. This can help me search a Raider's Wing for next turn, which is okay. So through all 3 of those hand traps, I now have a pop through the Phantom Knight's rank up Magic Force, because it'll be summoned to the zone, and this will turn into Dark Requiem, which is 3 monster negates, and I also have the Omni Negate. Not too bad in my opinion. It's impressive for a combo deck to be able to do this, a casual combo deck to be able to do that. And I actually did try to play this, like competitive or whatever you want to call it. I played it in the competitive side, if that makes sense. So people are actually trying, and I played some better stuff. Like Altergeist and a lot of these mid-range decks that are just okay. So I used to not have Red-Eyes because I feel like, oh, you don't want to have the bricks in your deck. And certainly this kind of looks like I did. But having a backup plan in Raidraptor is actually super duper important in case your Y-Strix gets, negated. That's like kind of your pivotal point of your combo, because then you can just, switch over and go ahead and do Dragoon. So at least you have 1 negate. And if they don't stop you, if they use their hand traps at the wrong times you saw in the first one, then like you're just going to have a monstrous board that essentially only Super Poly can break. Although I'll show you an example here where that was definitely not the case. We're not even Super Polys enough, and not even Dark Ruler. If you go full combo, Dark Ruler no more and Forbidden Droplets isn't enough either, and you'll see that too. Which is like the quintessential like question for any combo deck, like, can it survive Dark Ruler no more? Otherwise, you're gonna win most of your duels, but if they draw it, then you're kind of screwed. So here it is. There's the super polymerization. I, of course, do not know that yet. This is the very dark heavy deck. So it's ultimately just a bad matchup, but it isn't impossible. Like, you don't just automatically lose when someone has it, luckily. Any 3 Raidraptors is full combo, which is amazing what you're able to do. It's so funny how long this card took to get to the United States. It was so annoying because I'd been playing it forever. And one thing I guess I'll wait to show you, but there's a really interesting fact about Soulshade Force that I did not find out until I made this video, and I think it's super duper important for you guys to know, so I will show it when the time comes. But here we go. Dark Rebellion. I have a Fog Blade, a Called by the Grave, and the Phantom Knight's Claw, which is very cool. Unfortunately, 2 of those, like basically 5 forms of disruption, are now offline, but I have the backup plan here in Fog Blade, which is always very good. And I'm really not in the best position here. I'm going to be able to, keep him out, so I survived the churn. Although I guess I would have anyways, but I would have been on a very short clock. This could have always come back too. And one of the main reasons I play Skullmeister in the deck is because of Allure of Darkness. I was able to get into Raigeki, which you guys know I support very much. It literally helped me survive this turn. Okay, so he's got the Pot of Desires. And the Dimension Shifter is now useless at this point, obviously. And he's got 2 Crackdowns, but he can't attack, so I feel okay. And in the graveyard, I'd planted this a long time ago, is Zephyros the Elite. And I'm going to show you why I love Satellite Cannon so much. It's exactly here. And obviously, it can't be responded to either by spells and traps, which is just nuts. This card is amazing. And I still have a Monster Negate. Like, from all that time ago that I used at Super Poly, I couldn't use my negates before, and now I can. So I thought that was a really nice duel there. So yeah, I lined this up pretty well. So obviously this is nothing to write home about this duel, but there's one interaction that I wanted you to see, plus I go full combo too. So I think it's good. you know, for new players, if you're interested in Raidraptors, just to see how many different ways you can achieve the same end board. Essentially, like, it's a limitless combo. You just have to, it's like puzzle pieces, and then you kind of figure it out from there. Like, once you find a way to get 3 Raidraptors on the field, then you're good to go. And that's part of the skill of, you know, being a Raidraptor player. Anyway, so we're going to activate Soulshave Force, and let's take a look at this. Okay, so this pops. Now, when you read Rusty Bardige, it says during the main phase, you can send 1 Phantom Knights monster from deck to graveyard, then set a spell or trap, Phantom Knight spell or trap. Now, second effect. If a Dark XYZ monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, while this monster is on the field, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. When you look at, Cyber Dragon Infinity, you may think, that is not a Dark XYZ monster. How the hell did that effect go off? Maybe it was a glitch. It's not. So, when you read Soulshave Force, pay half your life points, target a Raidraptor XYZ monster in your graveyard, special summon it. That's the first effect. So, you're special summoning a Dark XYZ monster to this zone first, and then ranking up. So, it doesn't go straight to infinity. It's first special summon, then go into the XYZ monster. So, you technically can use this pop. I didn't know that until today, and I actually had this come up when I went to locals for the first time, which is hilarious. And I actually could have used the effect, and I thought I was being stupid because I couldn't. And there we go. So I wanted to show that off for you guys. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, I haven't even used Rusty's effect yet. Cloaks. Yep, Predator Plant Burning Anaconda. I haven't used the effect of Strangulanius yet to get me into the Dark Rebellion. And I'm sitting pretty good, obviously, at that point. Here is a match against Dinos. For whatever reason, Raidraptors has always had a good matchup. Alright, so he has the Effect Veiler. I'm not sure when he's going to end up using it. I don't know, I guess when he sees like Phantom Knights or Raidraptor stuff, like the idea is for him to wait until I use Predator Verde Anaconda. But at this point, you guys can see how many resources I have. I'm feeling pretty good. And, I mean, the best thing about Rusty Bardige is if they do, like, use Effect Veiler on your Y-Strix, you at least have access to another rank-up card through the deck. Rusty can obviously get that for you. So that's, like, super-duper important. Okay, so now any hand traps that you have are just completely offline. So he just lost himself the duel, pretty much. And it's really nice. Like, none of these cards are, like, anti-synergy because, like, you need this zone, obviously, for Dark Rebellion. But you can just use Infinity's effect to open it back up. So there you go. Not that it would have been the end of the world, like, to still have 3 monster negates, but, get as much value you can out of everything. And Fogblade, obviously, is just no issue at all, because, again, you can just use Infinity. It's not just going to be stuck there, or you can pop it. You can do a billion different things. Here is, like, a full-on Dragma deck. Stupid. So he's got the field spell, so I feel like he's got to be sitting, pretty good about himself here. He ends up going for, like, this, like, Red-Eyes thing. Dark, Metal Flare, whatever it's called. Alright, so Allure. So every time I activate effect, it's 1200 damage, which I think is what Soul Flare does, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but sometimes you just need to go into Red-Eyes, and that's basically the end of the duel. So, again, I think having that kind of easy win condition, quote-unquote, for Raidraptors is pretty important. Because right there, that was just it. I just activated Red-Eyes Fusion. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is Dragoonity. Alright, still feeling pretty good. And this is the Dark Ruler No More kind of duel I was telling you about. How in for a lot of combo decks, like, this is it. But there are so many alternative plays because the thing is, like, if you're playing a back row heavy deck or a combo deck, it doesn't matter at that point, even after Dark Ruler No More goes off, because you're going to rank up. You can go into Satellite Cannon or you can go into the Requiem. Doesn't matter, either one. So you just sit on it. Plus you have a Fogblade, so you have a pivotal monster negate, and then you can just sit. If you'll know pretty quickly what your opponent's playing at that point after they start, so you'll know which one to go into. But I just think that's really cool, in my opinion. Yeah, I can also send, if you open it, then you can also just send something like Raider's Wing and go into the exact same board, man. I think that is really dope, in my opinion. All right, so there we go. So he may think he's pretty safe. I know he's playing Dragoonity, so I'm like, alright, so like let's definitely take care of this because he's not going to be using a lot of spells and traps, like that's for sure. I'm going to use the first one because I can use this, the negates in the hand or the graveyard. Obviously, I'm going to save them and use Fogblade when I can because going into next turn, Infinity will be back online, and I can just use this, use the effect to like bring this in and go for a game and lethal. I think this is again just full combo. I just want to show you again, like sometimes like 2 Vanishing Lanius is all that you need, which is very nice. And that is not a once per turn. This Vanishing Lanius is a soft once per turn. Alright, so basically all the puzzle pieces have now fit. I can get a Pain Lanius, I suppose. I think I had like too many extenders at this point. Although maybe Pain Lanius wasn't the best decision. I guess it's more like for next turn. If there is a next turn. Because I haven't even used Strangle Lanius yet. Bring back a rank 4. Go into the Rebellion. And finally finish it off with a Red-Eyes Dark Dragoon. I already have an Ash in my hand. I definitely altered the deck from when I last played it to like make sure I have the appropriate kind of hand trap lineup. It's a hard balance between, disruption and all that kind of stuff. Always good to have stuff. I'm like huge into kaijus right now, so I feel like they're amazing. Especially when you have like things that you can like Dragoon that you can burn. Like burning for 2800 is like really good for the most part. Especially when you have a base 3000 attack monster, you're sitting pretty for the most part. So he's got the Droll, but you're not. I mean, it's bad, but you can still set up quite the board because a lot of stuff gets set from the deck. Alright, there is Infinity and Dragoon. So I didn't even go into Raidraptor stuff this time, which is completely fine. I can attack. I don't know if this is enough for... Oh, yeah, it's like way more than enough for lethal. So it's you just have access to these, boss monsters so quickly when you're setting things from the deck that it's just never going to be enough. So yeah, that was some updated Raidraptor gameplay video. I will show the deck profile tomorrow. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.